One thing I've always been trying to figure out is this problem of consciousness and these two stories that are told to humans about your mind, one story is that, you are a product of the union of an egg and a sperm, and that fertilized egg divides and divides and divides. All these cells keeps dividing and dividing and dividing, and the multiplicity of cells ends up being first an infant and then a progressively larger and larger human until it gets to its full adult size. And so the question becomes, well, what's the nature of this mind of this young infant? And even if you look at, the things that are in textbooks, like Piaget did a study of the stages of development of a human child. And it's pretty much every human child has the same kind of characteristics at certain ages of their development. But it's very smart. It doesn't answer the question, though, really about mind development. Now, what exactly happens with an infant's brain? Do parts of the brain grow different times? Does this is supposed to be the smartest part of your brain up here, the frontal cortex? And for little baby infants that are a day old, do they have very little cortex, and does it develop later? They don't teach this, so I don't know. Somebody could give me a comment and post a link to an article. That would be great. So you just have to go based upon you, because I'm going to go based upon me and my mind that I can remember as far back as I can remember. I cannot remember day one of my life, my birth life on Earth. But, trying to look back, I pretty much have the same quiet consciousness that I did then. In other words, if I'm not thinking and I'm just quiet, maybe looking at a lake or something, that consciousness I had then is exactly the same as it is now. Quiet consciousness still feels like quiet consciousness. So it seems that children have got the same, like if you had a computer, think of a desktop computer or a laptop computer, and you turn it on. And, in the old days, everybody had Windows or Apple, but now maybe it's Android. But that's your operating system, and if you're not running any programs on that computer, you don't take your mouse and go over, or on your smartphone go and click on an app. You don't do that. It's just plain what comes up when you first turn on the machine. And as far as I can remember, if we use that as an analogy to, the background consciousness of a human, it's the same then as it is now, many, many decades later. So it seems that once we become, at what particular point is it when you become self-aware, like I'm a person, little human? But that even if I can't remember what I was like when I was very young, like months old, looking at other babies over the years, I think at the very beginning they don't know that they're this little infant body. But at some point they do, because the they know faces. And when they get old enough to be able to walk or run, when they see their little friends, their faces all light up and they're really, really happy. And they go running towards each other and give each other big hugs. So as far as the development of your mind, yes, you learn new skills, but you are still you, but now you've acquired new skills. You learn how to read and play football and things. So if this is your mind and it's associated with your body, at what point did your mind first become associated with that fertilized egg cell? And if you think, well, that mind gets created by your physical brain, then you're going to say, well, at a certain point when that physical brain develops out of that mass of early cells that are growing from the fertilized egg, that's at some point the same mind that you have now, farmed with when a certain number of cells got there. Well, I have a difficulty time with that one. But if you look at spiritual teachings, I think it's Tibet, they say that that mind of yours gets associated with the small infant body at about, I think it's 42 days of gestation. Which means that the mind itself well, it seems to be associated with a body, but it is not created by the body. And that's just one teaching. René Descartes, the French philosopher, he said that the seat of the soul, they used to talk about soul in those days, hundreds of years ago, was up here in your pineal gland, which is inside of your cranium and inside some lobes of the brain, perhaps. Anyways, I'm not getting too far beyond my original ideas. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the mind or the brain?